Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of the Bug Warrior. In today's episode, I will show you how to defeat and get the keys for the Harbinger of Hatred boss. Now, why is this boss so important? If you look at the top S tier builds at websites such as Mackerel, almost all of the builds use this power. Each Barbarian build uses the Hatred boss power, also the one for the Druid. One of the Necromancer builds also is using it, and even Rogue. So that is why beating this guy becomes a huge deal. However, before you head and face the Harbinger of Hatred, you need to be sure that you have the keys to open its chest. For that, you need to defeat another boss first. Located at Nahantu Sealed Expanse, we can find no other than the Tormented Echo of Urivar. Both Urivar and the Harbinger of Hatred make their debut at Season 8 as bosses, and Urivar, to be honest, isn't that terrible to defeat. However, unless you can kill him before he summons his minions, prepare for a somewhat long fight. When Urivar calls to his knights, you have about 8 seconds to deplete his health bar, otherwise he disappears from the screen and you have to defeat all the knights before he can appear again. Remember that you need Judicator's mask keys that you can get from several sources, but for me the best one so far has been the boring Apparition Incursions, so you can give that a try. Once you open Urivar's chest, you can either get Stygian Stones or Abhorrent Hearts. Both are good. The main key to open the Harbinger of Hatred boss's chest are the Abhorrent Hearts, but if you get Stygian Stones, you can convert them to Abhorrent Hearts at the Alchemist. Now that you have the keys, we can go face the Harbinger of Hatred. However, before you go there, this boss is actually one of the top 3, if you ask me, hardest bosses to kill this season, so get ready and treat it as if you were doing a pit push. That means go to the Alchemist and be sure to buy elixirs such as Soothing Spices, Red Mean Boss, and anything that can increase your main stats. Since this season I am going Barbarian, I selected Ancient Times to get extra strength. Also, anything that gives you poison resistant is most welcome. Once you have all that, teleport to the Harbinger's Den. Remember that in Season 8, now you can teleport directly to the boss, there is no need to go to the nearest town, so you can do that. Now the Harbinger of Hatred fight begins, so deal damage to him and wait for him to disappear. The Harbinger of Hatred is one of those bosses that has a one-shot kill mechanism. For him it happens when he teleports outside of his portals. There is a marker that shows a path from where he's going to spawn, so move away because if you are caught in his path you will automatically die. Eventually Akarat, or the glowing lion as some people call it, will spawn and he will summon these orbs of light that you can use to destroy the big portals. As each phase goes on, there will be more portals and more orbs to pick up. I believe the first phase there are only 3 portals, but whatever the number, just grab the orbs and fire them to the portals. Just be careful that when you are doing that, you are not in the path of the Harbinger of Hatred, or as I mentioned, you will automatically die. You need to do this 3 times. The second time when Akarat appears, he will be trapped in the Hatred prison, so you need to release him from the prison first, and then repeat the same process we just did. Once you are done with the second phase, Akarat will appear again, only this time you can use the orbs to damage the Harbinger of Hatred, so be fast and fire at him at your first opportunity. If you do everything right, you will kill him and unlock the Harbinger of Hatred volley power. Now, since the Harbinger is one of the top bosses this season, there is a very good chance that mini Belial can spawn after opening the chest. If that happens, be sure to get him so you can get Belial's keys, known as Betrayer's Husk. In a future video, I will talk about the fight with Belial's true form. We reached the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far and found the video interesting or useful, please consider to share, like, comment or subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.